Hey, how's it going, guys? Tonight I want to talk to you about my personal narrative speech, and what I want to talk about or get into is the story on how I blew out my knee freshman year in high school snowboarding. I want to talk about what happened, the injury, why it was so devastating, with all the adversities that it brought to me and the obstacles that it put in front of me. But I also want to talk about how I turned all of that around and made it into something positive and bettered the whole situation. So anyway, how it happened was I was snowboarding with a few of my cousins. It was in, I think, Bear Creek up in near Perky MMPA, somewhere like around that area. But anyway, we were it was towards the end of the day, and we were taking this easy like green slope down the mountain. It was pretty much flat the whole way down. So I decided to go down that part. Stupidly, I decided to go down that slope with one binding in my snowboard. And how that works is the whole binding thing works is when you snowboard, you have your feet in bindings to keep your feet in place so that you don't fall off the board. And sometimes you'll see people with one binding in when they're off the mountain, like off the slopes, and pushing themselves like a skateboard with one leg to keep them moving because you don't have poles with ski. But so when I was going down that slope, I fell, took a tumble. My board went one way, and I went the other way. So I pretty much took my knee with the board, completely dislocated it. I tore my meniscus, tore my ACL, fractured my tibia, completely just blew out the whole knee. And then what was so devastating about it is that before this whole thing happened, I was really dedicated into the gym, working out, all that. I was making crazy progress. And once this happened, it pretty much set me back. Pretty much lost all the progress I gained that year. So that was that was a really hard pill to swallow. I also missed all of wrestling season and lacrosse season that year, so that was also pretty depressing. So as a whole, I felt completely defeated, and it pretty much crushed me emotionally and physically. And I pretty much almost gave up the whole thing altogether. So yeah, I was pretty depressed about it, just moping around, sitting in my bed. And then one day I decided, hey, why not put somewhat effort into it? It's kind of on the fence about it. It was like, whatever, I'll try it. So I decided to do the simple exercises the doctor gave me, which is like knee, not knee, quad flexes, like some like knee bending exercises, stretches, like little stuff like that. So I started doing that, and then I started to take it a little more seriously. I did it every day. Then I progressed the intensity of it little by little. And then once I was able to go to PT, I started really taking that seriously. I would almost treat it like it's a workout session. I would bring my headphones. I would try to be as motivated as I can while doing it, even though sometimes it sucked and sometimes it wasn't the most appealing exercises in the world, but I still took it seriously and tried to make the best of it. And then once I was cleared for PT, I decided, hey, why not go as hard as I can in the weight room and just try to regain all the strength that I lost as quick as I can, and maybe even get stronger than I was before the whole thing happened. So then I pretty much every day I was in the gym trying to do as much as I can to gain the strength back in that one leg and make it even with the other. Almost every day I would do stuff like squats, leg press, lunges, all of that just to regain my strength. Did that for at least almost pretty much a year. I would continuously do that to the point where I was stronger. My lower body was stronger than it was before the whole incident happened. And then I was even more prepared for the next year's season than I was before the whole injury happened. So anyway, the importance, or at least what I feel like is meaningful from this, is that don't take an obstacle or adversity as a complete. Don't take it as the end of the world. Like, it's, yeah, it sucks, but you can also turn it around and make it into something positive and even better the whole situation just from how you look at it and what you can do to sort of look for better the situation, what you can do to work through it, and overcome those adversities. So yeah, thank you for listening. That was my personal narrative. Hope everyone took something from that. And yeah, thank you. Have a good night.